live.
Hello, and welcome to Penny for a Tale. Tonight we are running episode 3 of Static Dawn by Frenzy Kitty Games. We are playing in a homebrew setting of Silicon Zion. Before we get into the announcements for tonight's session, let's reintroduce our cast. We'll start with Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. Tonight I will be playing Cain Tremblay. I don't want to explain who he is because I think his character gimmicks are pretty self-evident, so I hope you enjoy him and his antics.
And Sam.
Thanks. I'm Sam. I'll be playing Tweak, the hacker / new person that shares memes everywhere. It'll be fun.
Fantastic. And I am a very unprepared GM, so bear with me 2 seconds. This is the start of our October Spooktacular. We have a fantastic array of games. Actually, it started last night, didn't it, with Relics? Did you play Relics last night?
No.
No, but it started
Last
with
year.
Scion.
Started with Scion.
Yes.
That's right.
We did kick it off.
Yeah, Scion kicked it off. Some very spooky themes going throughout all of our campaigns. We will have one-shots on Wednesday and a mini campaign on Wednesday. So just clear your calendar for Wednesday night and come hang out with us. It'll be great. Starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, is that all the announcements, guys?
Yep.
Great. So, tonight's session will be run in Roll20, and our music tonight is by Michael Gelfi and Rock Narnan. You will be able to find their links in the show notes once this hits YouTube, which will be a week from today. All right, let's get into tonight's game. So, Cain, Tweak, you both have recently worked together, tracking down Lady B, protecting her from a mob hit, you thought, but actually they just wanted to deliver a message. And you caught up with her in the in Trixie's tattoo parlor. And she was talking to this wonderful tattooer named Hokkaido. But you all decided to go your separate ways after that, briefly. Cain, how are you feeling after everything that you've been seeing and that you've been putting together has been correlating in your brain?
I'm nervous. My friends, I don't think they can handle what's going on because it's getting more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hesitant to loop Brian in on what's happening because it's getting shadier and shadier by the minute, and his skill is in performing any job so long as it isn't messy and gray, because he gets a bit philosophical, and I think things are going to get a little bit gray, so I think this next job I'm taking myself, or excluding him at least.
Okay. So you know that Kate, your friend Kate, goes back to work today. So, you know, she says, "Hey, I'll text you on my lunch break. Bye." You know, just in case she dies or something. And then you get a voicemail message. The title of it says "New Work?" ? And if you would go
From
ahead
Cameron?
and from Cameron.
All right. Let's
So
play.
let's see if that works.
bear with me for 1 second. It is not playing the way it was playing just a minute ago.
That's okay. I'll pull it up on my phone and play it that way. We were trying to be all spiff about this.
It happens.
It happens. Okay. Come on. Do the thing. Open.
Cain, I can't come with you this time around. Anyway, the Evo Gate wants to meet with you in person. Go to Hamza's, ask Sira for Pod 4. I've been told you should have everything you need to get to the House of the Rising Sun. Bring whomever you feel is appropriate.
And that's it. Did you catch all that?
Yep.
All right.
So,
Tweak. I think the way that things left off is that Cain gave you his contact number, but you did not give him yours.
No.
How are you feeling? You went to go and take care of Namina, the pawn shop owner, because you heard there might be a threat going on at her place, and then all of a sudden shit went down, and you ended up following these weird guys to help them find Lady B, who you kind of recognize but kind of don't.
I mean, for some reason, this guy kept paying me, and it was very interesting how I could kind of overload him if I gave him too much data. So
That was a little weird.
it was something to figure out.
So do you reach out to Cain?
Yeah, the night previous, I was searching through the dark web and had found some information about him that he could make people disappear. And so I messaged him a meme of a billboard and saying, "Are you ready to go on vacation?" What's that?
Cain, how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna send a question mark back. Kane's playing dumb.
I don't think he has to play dumb, so
Gotcha.
it's fine.
All right, well, tell me what you do next.
I'm gonna call Tweak.
Who calls?
Kane does. You're being called right now.
Tweak will immediately hit end call. Do not accept.
What does your voicemail say?
It just says no.
I'm gonna text Tweak.
That's the way it goes. They will text you back, and you'll receive a couple of files that they had pulled from the dark net, scrubbed a little bit so that they could be sent, of some of your ongoings in the area. With the
Cain.
name that says, "This you?"
Cain, how much of that did you upload yourself in order to promote yourself?
Maybe 1/5. Usually my clients are pretty good at advertising on my behalf. It stays up on the high level. I don't think I need to send the media myself, but sometimes I like to brag. I'm gonna text Tweak. I've got a job. You interested?
How much does it pay? $, $, credit sign.
I wasn't told. That usually means a lot.
They'll text back and say, "Give me a location."
I'll send the address. Hamza's. I forget, what is Hamza's again? Because I know we've been there before. At
Hamza's
least we have
is Dave and Buster's meets Benihana. So it is
Yes.
a giant arcade of you have the retro arcade, you have the current present arcade, and then you have the hibachi grill. I could say hibachi now because I couldn't remember the damn word 3 weeks ago. Anyway, so it is it's an entertainment place. It's geared more towards older teens and adults than it is for children, but some people do bring their 10-year-olds and whatnot there, especially for the what do we call it? I keep calling it Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but that's not what it is.
Battle mechs or something.
Battle mechs, yeah, I think
Yes.
that's what I called it.
The appeal to it is that it's painfully generic and just so violent.
So violent, and
Tweak.
yet
Tweak, do you frequent arcade games?
They will send sort of a screenshot picture of where they are, like the top scorer on multiple machines there. Maybe.
Remind me
I
not
like to
to
brag too.
play against you. I'm going to meet you there.
They don't
Alright.
respond back.
And then I'm
okay.
going to text again tonight. Just to add that urgency. And I'm going to head out.
All right, what are you bringing with you?
Not Brian.
Not Brian. No, Brian. Brian is currently. He took what you said to heart last week, and he's trying. He's been like measuring angles, trying to figure out how he could get the handlebars of the motorcycle out, because he's almost got it done, and so he's frantically trying to figure out how he can get it out in one piece.
Well, then on the way there, I take public transportation. It's pretty much the only option in this city. But I'm gonna look online for better couches. I've got a lot of credits, and I've been meaning to buy legitimate weaponry and supplies, but I can't help but think that our quality of life needs an upgrade.
Okay.
How much would it cost to order a piece of furniture delivered?
For a piece, so do you want like IKEA furniture, or do you want, like, I don't know if you guys have Bob's Discount, but like actual furniture store furniture that comes in one piece?
Any company that says discount on it really matches mine and Brian's speed as people, because I don't think we deserve top quality furniture even if we can't afford it. So whatever
So
looks
you could
kind of cheap.
you could get a decent sized couch delivered within a week, because they have to import it because there are not furniture designers and distributors here. You could get a couch for 45 credits.
I'm gonna pick out any couch that I think is comfortable and just too short to fit a motorcycle onto. It makes sense, I promise. I live with a maniac, and I live in torment.
It's important that I also make note of this. Okay. So you're doing almost like a love seat instead of a couch.
Right. Because I don't
Okay.
watch TV anyway.
No. Like, don't you sleep there? Do you
Yeah.
sleep on the couch?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
once he goes to bed,
Okay.
I'll pass out there.
Gotcha. Okay. Tweak, do you meet him early?
No, they probably had to make a pit stop to pick up some necessary things.
What kind of things?
Things to keep them sane and awake and working.
So Pikachu, or
It's the Pikachu.
actual- okay, because you did just get a little bit from Nomina that would last you 2 weeks.
It's true, but I'm expecting a payday,
Mhm.
and so I might as well stock up.
Okay. So Namina will look at you kind of very mama bear-ish. Be like, honey, are you sure?
I've got a new job, and I don't exactly know when I'll be able to come back, if I'm being honest. These guys are weird.
Well, weird or not, I just don't want to see you like the ones that they pick up in like the transit system or something like that. Your eyes already flash green sometimes.
I'm fine. I get the work done that I need to get done.
I know, honey. I just want to see you come back. That's all. Not condemning you. I just don't want you to overdo it.
So, are you going to give me
Yes,
what I'm
yes, yes.
paying for?
I will. I will, sweetie. And if you come back next month, I'll have a job for you as well. Nothing huge, but enough to, keep our relationship stable.
Perfect. You're the best.
No, you're the best. You stay safe, sweetie. And she gives you another 3 weeks worth, and an invoice.
Okay.
The invoice is for 70 credits.
Okay. Said this pays a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It better.
So at the at Hamza's, it is a little boisterous, but it's a Tuesday, so there aren't as many people there, especially not people with kids. Most of the kids are at home. So you've got your older teenagers, you've got your businessmen who are your white shirts that are coming down after a long day, having a beer with the boss. Um, Several of the virtual reality pods are in use. You hear the clanging of pinball machines in the background that can be heard over everything else. The sizzle of the hibachi grill sends amazing smells through the ventilation system even before you get in the building, enticing you to sit down. You can see at the hibachi grill the same woman that you saw when you came here more recently, Cain. Syrah. She is extremely tall and big. Um, Olive skin, brown eyes, very long, natural red hair in a loose braid. Um, she's got like a spiked collar, and then she's got her chef's jacket on. Um, and yeah, she's sitting there angrily chopping away at stuff on the grill, flipping things with attitude, and just like nodding but still frowning when people applaud her. Um, you also see several other chefs doing similar stuff with a smile and being very friendly, but they are all very short in comparison to Syrah. She kind of is the spotlight.
Well, Cain is about the furthest thing from a spotlight. Probably not.
She's almost as tall as you. Or no, she is as tall as you.
She seems much taller. Cain doesn't occupy his space in any way that seems confident,
Mm-hmm.
but he speaks very confidently,
Mm-hmm.
as if he were a Greek god, but he's very much not. Today he felt to wear a hat to cover his bald head, and he's glad he did so because he's quite charmed by this person, who he hopes serves him food at this time. He's gonna sit. Is Tweak anywhere? As I'm looking
I
around.
don't know. Tweak, have you arrived? Or are
Yeah,
you not there
but
yet?
I'm probably heading to the arcade after
All right.
stepping into the alleyway first.
You know what you can do, Cain? You can give me an intellect roll.
See if I spot
Mm-hmm.
our friend here. Let's do it. That's going to be a failure.
Yeah. Just so the audience remembers that the rolls are based on stats and you are trying to get under the stat in order to succeed. So you don't see Tweak anywhere. You do, however, get a little bit of onion juice in your eye when somebody hits the onion rings on the hibachi to make one of those volcanoes. Um, it stings and your eye starts to water a little bit. You notice that, or you get the feeling again that somebody's watching you. And then from the they've also got the sports TVs and stuff, and there are different alerts going on. There is the Azure Wolf concert that's coming up in a week that everybody's super excited about. Little Buddies has put out a press release that in 3 days' time they are going to be releasing a new product. They are very excited to tell people about, and so they're going to have a big demo, as it were. And there is still a lithium shortage due to miners being on strike and refusing to work at the lithium mine, stating supernatural and unsafe, unsafe working conditions.
So, Cain is probably most interested in the last thing that you just said because it's relevant to his job and his sources of income. When shit hits the fan, he tends to make a lot of money, but he doesn't want to reveal his interests to this. Name's Sierra?
Sarah, yep.
Sierra. Yeah, but he's going to ask about the second thing. Little Buddies. What do I know about Little Buddies?
So Little Buddies is one of the big corporations in Silicon Zion. They are, if Jobgatism had a company that really embodied the theocracy or the philosophy, it's Little Buddies. They keep pushing how augmentations work and how to get these bits of technology to help the human body. They created the SIM cards that everybody has as their ID card, credit, everything. They push the boundaries with a lot of security type augmentations. So it's very interesting that they're going to have a big event. They haven't had a big event in at least 2 years. And the last big event, the last big product that they released was it was an additional memory storage that recently increased the maximum capacity that somebody's brain can have for memory. It is very experimental and has very severe side effects, including amnesia, short-term amnesia. But it was a huge breakthrough.
Wait a second.
What?
Sounds familiar. Okay, I'm going to send, actually. Are they publicly trading?
Little Buddies, yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to open up my investment app, as Cain probably he does. He's not very interesting. I'm going to send a screenshot of an investment I'm putting in. I'm going to send it to Tweak. I'd like to invest 50 credits if I can, because I think it's about to blow up. Look at that. I'm already making risky bets. 50. Kind of a lot of money, isn't it? I'm going to send that message.
That is a lot of money.
Tweak, do you reply?
Not yet. At the moment, they are actually scoping out the inside of the building, starting first with the arcade, but it's weird to them that there is a job here, a meeting, and so they kind of want to make sure, they know how this place normally looks, normally functions. They're trying to make sure that nothing is out of place in their eyes.
Okay, go ahead and make an intellect roll for me.
Oh, let's not do that in the chat. Switch.
Oof.
I'm actually playing pinball.
Yeah, you start to look around, and then all of a sudden you hear the Addams Family da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, and you go, I can't ignore it, and so you go and head over to the Addams.
They saw on the screen that somebody had beat their high score, and
yes,
no,
that's exactly right.
Doesn't sit well with them. Huh?
No.
Clink, ding, 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 woo! Somebody is very aggressively playing pinball. But Cain, now that the onion is out of your eye, you notice Syrah standing in front of you. Can I take your order?
I'm gonna look around. Who else is eating? Is there somebody eating beside me?
Not directly beside you. It is a slower night. There's a guy three seats down, and he's got some. It smells peanut-y. Across the bar, there is a teenager who has a bunch of fried foods, and that onion volcano. There is also someone who has like an egg fouillon, and someone else who's got a steak that is barely seared.
I'm embarrassed.
Well, it's a tofu steak, but
Right. I'm embarrassed. I haven't even looked at. I'm gonna open the menu that I haven't even been touching. I've been preoccupied with what's been going on in the news and on my phone. But I'm not gonna make you wait. I'll take the steak, and I'm just gonna point across instead of even pointing to the menu.
You want sides?
No. Steak's fine.
Fine. She digs in the refrigerator to this that's like right under you, and you get a pretty good shot. Good view. She's very tall and well endowed. She pulls out a styrofoam case that has wrapped something that looks like tofu, but is bright red. And she takes a little seasoning, dribbles it over it, turns the patty over, dribbles it over it, molds it with her hands to the right shape, and puts it down on the grill and waits. And she just sits there, kind of crossing her arms, like willing it to be done.
Cooking it with anger and negative thoughts. Has Cain ever had a real steak before? Probably not.
No. No. You have had real sausage before. Once at one point at Darkford Pizza, they got their hands on real sausage that somebody sent from Italy. And because you go there so often, the cook was like, hey, Cain, for you and Brian. He's actually just trying to date Brian, but it's fine.
Yeah. You leverage him like that. Now, have a question for you. I'm going to say to Sierra.
Yes, I'm single. And
No, it's
what?
not that kind of a
I
question.
caught you looking.
I was reading the menu, I'd have you know.
Yeah. Anyway, what?
The steak. I'm going to put the air quotes up. Have you ever had real steak?
I have not had real steak since I left Germany.
Does it taste like that?
As close to it as I can get.
Oh, that's perfect for me.
You can't replicate some of the fibers, but it's all in the seasoning.
Why replicate when you can augment? I'm going to look back. Is there an ad playing on the TV?
There is an ad playing on the TV, and it is for it's for Hawkeye Communications, and they are premiering a new plan that makes the existing devices it retrofits them so that they can fit into new augmentations, so that you don't have to necessarily replace your device in order to get it to hook up to new implants.
She's got a name tag. Do I know her name?
Yeah, all the chefs have their names stitched into their chef coats.
Just to further impress that Cain is socially tone deaf, I'm going to say, Syra, you a fan of the old world?
I mean, first of all, Sarah, but thank you.
Apologies.
Secondly, it depends on what aspects. There are some things from the old world that are I think they're lost on today's society. She points over to some kids that are playing a VR game, and you can see what they're playing. Games like that used to be in cinemas, and people would just watch. And it's a zombie game, and they're beating zombies. There used to be theaters where you would just sit and listen to a story and watch a story that was portrayed by real people. You know, this, she points to, she spreads her arms over the hibachi grill. God, so much has been lost in culinary arts. Now they can condense it all down to a little strip, and you lose the sensation of eating. I see so many people come in, these tweakers that are coming in, and they don't sit down to eat. They put a little strip on their tongue, and then they're fine. All they want to do is drink. And they're missing out.
Now you've reminded me. I have a tweaker to get to. I'm going to message Tweak.
What? She flips over the steak.
I'm going to message. How are things?
Tweak, you are getting so close. You are pounding the buttons, but not tilting the machine. Surprisingly, getting it just right. Now, did you take the Pikachu before you came here?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You have like supernatural speed when it comes to it, so you can wait to the very last moment to hit the flippers and keep the ball going. You're getting so close. Give me a tech roll, please.
Well, you got to keep the classics going.
Mm-hmm.
That goes.
There you go. And you hit, and you get it up into the upper echelon where it The sirens blare, saying, you just got 3 million extra points. It puts you back over the top. And then your communication device pings.
Okay. First, I have to write my name in all caps at the top.
Well, you only get 3 initials. What are your 3 initials that you're putting?
TWK.
TWK.
Proper name, anyway.
Look around at the crowd that has kind of gathered, and then bring up my communicator and see that they had messaged about stocks, and then I'm like, well, take a look at this. Like, new high score.
All right.
I don't know the age difference between Cain and Tweak, but I think whatever it is, it feels much stronger now, seeing the exchange over text message.
Ken, you're what, in your 40s? You appear to be between 40 and 50. Tweak, how old do you appear to be?
Probably 20, 22.
Yeah. So Tweak, you get the feeling you kind of know where he's at based on the information he sent you. You turn around and you see him. Well, you see his hat. You see a very tall chef in front of him with deep red hair. So yeah, do you head over?
Yeah, I gotta knock that stupid hat off.
Do you?
Yep.
Both of you make a combat roll. I just want to see who wins.
Is this an attack of opportunity? Or...
There you go.
Oh, dang it.
Success. Not a great
So you get
one.
a success. Well.
Nope.
Ah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you feel it, and so you just instinctively duck out of the way, Cain. So, what do you do?
How are you, Tweak?
Like your hat.
Thanks. It doesn't like you. And so am I eating the steak now?
Syrah is just serving it to you.
Come sit.
You need anything else?
No.
All
This
right.
is plenty.
How about you?
Just a drink.
I'm going to point to the stool.
Okay.
Have a seat, Tweak.
Yeah, Tweak sits down, and I'm sure there are probably those little spinny chairs. They spin around a couple times.
So, are you a fan of the old world?
I mean, how old are you talking?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Any of it.
Are we getting deep, Cain?
We can.
Your food's gonna get cold, though.
It's kind of food, isn't it? Here's the thing. I'm going to look. My eyes are going to sort of train on this steak as it's cooking. I used to think.
Oh, you used to?
Yeah, I grew out of it. I was about your age. It must have been the drugs. I'm saying that to be bitter, by the way. The steak. I used to think it was good for society. Think about it. Synthetic meat, all the slaughterhouses close. But back then, there were quite the livestock to be relieved. They're not being led to the slaughter. Now there aren't any. There are no pigs anywhere nearby to be happy. They're not being led to their death. So was it worth doing? I guess it depends on how good it tastes.
I wasn't listening. You lost me.
How old are you, Tweak?
You what?
How old are you?
How old am I? They look like they actually have to think about that for a moment.
How much? I need to see what I notice about Tweak. I'm trying to do the old wise mentor thing here and figure out what this person's doing. Mainly the drugs.
So, I want you to give me. This is going to be less about intellect and more about persona, because you're trying to read a person.
Right.
So, give me a persona
No, that's
check.
good. Persona. My persona's 10.
Damn. All right.
Succeed.
Two
So,
in a row.
listen. All right. So, Tweak. What are some visual signs of your personality that he might notice?
Tweak, despite how silly they are acting, seems like they're very like paranoid. They're constantly sort of looking around over their shoulder, their eyes darting, and they don't. It doesn't even seem like they realize that they're doing it. There's definitely like twitching in their movements, and just the inability to sit still in general.
One thing you do notice as they look from side to side as they're looking over their shoulders is that their eyes do flash green from time to time.
I'm gonna point to the eye. You are a fan of the New World. Tweak.
I mean, you were asking about the old world.
I like the augments.
Tweak, you know that your eyes are not augmented.
Thanks.
Cain's oblivious though. So,
Not letting on.
you seem paranoid. What have you done?
What have I done? What have you done?
Oh, I've done plenty. I'm probably as paranoid as you. I just don't make it look obvious. If someone's behind me ready to shoot me in the back of the head, I guess I deserved it. You must be stressing yourself out, Tweak. Who are you running for?
Right now, you're the one stressing me out. They seem sort of flustered at the moment, but their hand sort of twitching to their side. But they sort of take a deep breath and then, aren't we here for a job? Didn't you say you were gonna pay? I mean, I saw how much you put in the stock market. For what was it? Little friends, little buddies.
Little buddies. It's a good investment. Or maybe it's
We'll
not.
see.
I don't know. I haven't made it so far. So now, Spence, I'm looking over the voicemail, the transcription. Are there any other hints I need to know other than to be at this place and that it concerns EvoGate?
So the note that you got was, let me pull up the actual transcription because I forgot. Where is it? There it is. So it said, I can't come with you this time around. Anyway, the Evo Gate wants to meet with you in person. Go to Hamza's, ask Syrah for pod 4. I've been told you should have everything you need to get to the House of the Rising Sun. Bring whomever you feel is appropriate.
Mentally, I'm checking every box. Now it seems there's only one thing left to do. Is my steak ready yet, actually?
It's been in front of you.
Okay, good. I'm gonna scarf it down in a couple of awkward, probably silent minutes.
It tastes really good, and despite the texture being very tofu-like, the flavors itself feel very viscous. It's really nice. It's got a nice mouthfeel.
Cain doesn't know any better, so
Yeah.
Tweak
Syrah.
looks disgusted.
Would you like a bite?
Oh.
You see Sarah roll her eyes at that, and then turn to you. Yes.
I'm here for Pod 4.
Oh, really? Fine, whatever. She pulls up her wristband. Well, the group that's in there has 5 more minutes, and then you'll be able to go in. I'll set it for you. Until then, how is your steak?
Fantastic.
Good. How was your drink?
Drinkable?
You know those strips will kill you, right?
There's a lot of things out there that can kill you.
Accurate.
See? I don't know why everyone is just... You guys are weird. Are we doing karaoke?
I mean, you could, but no, you probably shouldn't.
Oh, So Tweak hasn't heard this message, right? I don't think Cain sent it to them.
No.
Yeah, so all of this, they're just like, what the hell is going on in a pod? Karaoke, okay.
A couple minutes later, you see Pod 4 open, and there are several very drunk men leaving the pod. One of them has to be carried. And they're all white shirts. All their ties are very loose or gone or tied around their head like a bandana. You're not sure what kind of party it was, but it was something. The door closes. The bright UV light can be seen from the bottom of the seal, and then it opens again. Sierra taps on her device and says, "All right, it's all yours. Program's queued up and everything."
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to pay with my chip.
Yep. The meal was 5 credits.
Excellent. And I'm going to head in.
Tweak, do you follow?
Yeah, they make a point to like not even pay. They just sort of follow as though, like totally oblivious.
You get a ping on your chip, an alert that says payment received.
It's impolite.
They don't mess around.
It's impolite to let the automation take over. It's still proper to pay.
Does the automation care?
I don't think it's the automation. I think it's you who doesn't care.
Damn right. Pod 4.
Once you're in Pod 4 and the door closes, the screen pops up. It smells like UV. Because the UV light has just cleaned off everything.
Perfect.
That is their hygiene thing. If you look in Discord, a screen pops up and it says, "Let's play a game." And it gives you this wheel with several different symbols on it.
Interesting. Well, this is...
So it looks like you can drag an icon into each gray box. So what it is a big blue circle, and it has around it hearts in various colors, flames in various colors, swords in various colors, and triangles in various colors, with 4 cubes in the middle. It looks to be some sort of access lock.
Does it have any plug-in ports?
Oh,
no,
I
it does
know
not.
This one.
The other picture is also in that Silicon Zion photos thing. You could just have to scroll up.
What are we looking
If you go into the Zillicon Zion Discord in the photos channel, I've uploaded a picture.
I'm gonna mess with Tweak for a
I don't
second.
think I'm invited to the
No.
Discord.
Oh.
Tweak, I was told you have the solution to this puzzle.
Maybe.
Well, go ahead.
I haven't seen the puzzle yet. Hold on.
Hang on. I'm putting it into Facebook chat now.
You guys sending secret notes and stuff?
No, I've been uploading things.
Mm.
There you go.
I have it on the Twitch too.
Great.
Cain's got a funny look as he stares at it.
Got a funny look.
This looks childish.
You look childish. All right, well, we're still somewhat
Good
young.
one.
What's the solution?
Good one.
Cain has
Can
a smirk.
I make like a tech roll or an intellect roll?
You can make a tech roll. Sure.
Technology. Okay.
So you may not be able to hack into the pod, but you could totally hack into Cain's communication device.
Oh, let's do that.
So you hack in, scrolling through, looking at images, and you see this one image. It looks like it's on tin. And it is, if you are in the Discord server, if you scroll up a couple, you will see that there is a symbol of a red heart in the top, a yellow flame to the right, a black sword to the bottom, and a blue triangle to the left.
See it. They'll look at that, look at the wheel, look confused, and input those symbols, the red heart, the yellow flame, black sword, blue triangle, into the squares.
And then you hear access granted. And
Cain's
to the
gonna...
side,
Cain wasn't expecting that. Wait. How'd you know that? Were you at the mine?
I don't know what's yours.
Right.
to the right side of the pod, you hear and one of the panels releases and goes back, opening for a doorway.
House of the Rising Sun.
Is this cool? Are we going in?
We sure are. I'm gonna head in.
Okay. So you both go in, and after about 30 seconds, you hear the door thud. I can't make good sound effects, so I try.
Spot on.
Anyway, so the
What?
the door closes behind you, and fluorescent lights flicker on overhead. They're very sparse, though. And you're in a stone tunnel that goes down. There's a metal railing on the side. The tiles look like they could be some sort of seafoam green. Some of them are broken and cracked. It's a little musty down here. And as you go down, you hear your own footsteps. Pat, 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 echoing down the corridor. It goes on for a while, winding. There are a couple of access doors, but they don't appear to be what you're looking for. There's a drip. A couple more drips. And then finally you start to smell some dusty air. It feels very stale.
We've been going down gradually?
Very gradually, but yes. All of a sudden, there is an opening at the bottom of the stairway, but you can't tell what it goes to because it like comes to a wall and then you have to turn to go out to wherever this opening is.
Well,
as you look out, you notice several benches and a very wide expanse of a tunnel and 2 sets of tracks.
The tracks parallel?
They are. They are metal. They have a slight hum to them.
A rail.
Can Tweak pull out their phone and try and gelocate where they are? They don't like this.
Okay. So when they pull out their phone, you can look up older blueprints of the city and notice that there were underground transportations at one point, but they were abandoned due to several collapses because of geysers in the area. Just as you're pulling up this information, you hear the sound of a horn and something very large coming down the way.
Oh, we need to get out of the way.
Well, you're not on the tracks unless you were dumb enough to get on the tracks.
I was examining around the tracks.
All
Get out
right.
of the way. We need to
Quite
hide.
curious.
Tweak is gonna hide.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to where we came from and see if we can get around
Okay.
the bend
So
enough to.
Tweak, give me a physique roll, and Cain, give me a combat roll to try to get out, or give me a physique roll as well to try and get out of the way.
My gosh.
Success.
This will be a very short campaign if you did not get out of the way. You are surprisingly fast, and you are able to register something big is coming on these tracks. I should get out, and so you hop up onto the walkway or the platform. Tweak, you look around, and the best thing that you could find to hide behind is a mesh wastebasket that is full of very old rotted paper.
Do I smell that?
Good enough.
What, the rotted paper?
Yeah.
It smells really musty in here. It musty, dusty, very old, like not a lot of people come down here. There are some footprints, but they don't appear to be very frequent.
How common is paper?
Not very.
Not at all.
The place where you mostly find it is in the archive where they keep physical books.
It's the stuff of museums.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
They
They like crouch down as much as they can, and then they notice the
Yeah.
paper.
How long does it take for this thing to arrive or pass even?
So it gets there within about 45 seconds. It comes to a halt.
Don't move a muscle.
The doors open
Stop
with a
talking.
hiss.
Cain smiles. He's hiding where the stairs met this opening.
And you hear boom, boom, boom. The transport will be leaving in 2 minutes. The transport will be leaving in 2 minutes.
I'm gonna poke my head out. My shiny bald head.
Oh, you lost your hat?
Did you lose your hat? Yeah, you probably
did
lost it
from
jumping up off the
Ugh.
tracks. It is now underneath the train car. So you pop your head out. You don't see anybody.
Well, I'm gonna go over to Tweak. Help him out. I'm gonna extend a hand.
You're giving away my hiding spot.
We're not hiding. We were invited here.
By who? Whom?
They gave us the password. If you were given a gate code, would you hide in an apartment you were invited to?
Can you stop with your whatever this is that you're doing? And what am I here for?
We need to find out. Besides, the nice robot lady said this train's departing soon.
Fine.
I'm gonna help them up. If they'll even let me.
Tweak looks visibly like aggravated and stressed out right now.
Tweak, make an intellect roll, please.
Tweak, you smell like the old world. I'm gonna take a picture of that pile of papers.
Sure. Tweak, maybe it's your imagination, but you start to hear footsteps coming down the stairway that you just exited.
Tweak is just going to grab Cain's arm as he's going over to take a picture of a garbage can and just like hiss to them like someone's coming. And they're like squeezing their arm, like trembling slightly.
What's wrong?
Are you deaf, old man? I just said someone's coming.
I don't hear anything.
Boom, boom, boom. The transport will be leaving in 1 minute.
Look. I can't tell if you're insulting my age.
This is going to take an entire minute, isn't it?
And what happens if somebody's coming? Huh?
They just sort of stand there, like, chewing their bottom lip, and then... Are you expecting anyone to come?
We've been paid. Not yet, but we're hired for a job. They told us to come here. That could be the client.
Boom, boom, boom. Get your asses on this fucking transport. That's literally what someone says.
I'm just gonna point to whatever direction that sound came from, and just sort of...
Tweak just turns and walks to the train. Someone taking pictures of garbage.
Cain, do you follow?
Yeah, I follow. I lead from the back, and I head to the train.
So you get to the train, doors hiss close, and you take off back down from whence the train came. Now, are either of you looking back behind, or are you looking forward?
Oh no, I'm seeing if anyone's coming out of that stairwell.
I'm looking
How about you,
forward.
Cain? Okay.
It's the major difference between our personalities.
So Tweak, what you see is about half a dozen men in suits with big things in their arms, pointing after the train car. But before they can bring anything to bear, the train car takes a turn and is out of view.
Oh shit.
Cain, going forward, you notice that there is a control panel, and it says, "Welcome. Please enter the passcode for the House of the Rising Sun." and it presents you with 4 quotes to choose from, and a 6 entry alphanumeric code. I will tell you these things, and I will put them in the chat for you to see. So you can choose the phrase speak friend and enter. You can choose the phrase when he shakes his mane. You can choose the phrase I can only show you the door. I'm copying and pasting all of these as I read them off to you. Xavier's Academy for Gifted Students.
Weak.
And the last one is When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah, Tweak is a little, they're kind of staring after what had happened.
So what it appears is that each of these phrases would have a word, a six letter word attached with it.
A 6-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
This is puzzling.
And you would only have to choose one.
Right.
So the voice prompt says, please choose your phrase and enter the passcode before arrival.
Cain checks his notes. Tweak, do you have anything?
For what? They come up beside you and look at the thing. You can kind of see them look down and count on their fingers. So 6.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I get this wrong?
We
You
die.
don't know.
Just kidding. We might.
That's interesting.
Passcode.
They type in
Passcode.
words.
Passcode. PC. Passcode. Where did you get that? Tweak?
Old world?
Yeah. Or my phone?
What?
Tweak.
Someone that has horrible firewalls and security on your phone.
I
So
like
did
to
you-
live loose. Why are you hacking into my phone?
You just made it really easy.
So wait, because what happened just there happened in the Facebook chat, and so nobody on Twitch knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Tweak entered Melon, MELLON. That is something only taken note by me and one other person who's not present. I had it in my phone as PC Melon, MELLON. And just as Cain was realizing that PC may stand for passcode or something, it looks like Tweak beat me to the punch. But then only because Cain is looking at his phone right now, he realized that earlier, for the original pass diagram, Tweak has just been hacking into my phone. I'm kind of mad about it.
Only kinda.
Yeah. So do you type in Melon?
Yep.
Okay, so you select
It's
that
6.
code. You select speak friend and enter. You type in melon, and it takes a minute. The circle of doom. Thank you. We will see you soon.
Okay.
Within 10 minutes, the car starts to slow and come to a stop. At this platform, you see an older woman with bright gray hair. Cain, you've seen her before. She usually is wearing paisley and, an old lady skirt and a big old bag. Not today, though. Today, she is decked out in leather with some sweet Ray-Ban type sunglasses and a very big whatchamajigger firearm. Excuse me while I post this in our Discord.
Tweak notices the leather first.
Yeah.
Are you taking me to an orgy?
I love that. So this is Lady B, and apparently I'm not allowed to put her picture in here because it is too powerful. It's fine. You all know what Lady B looks like, but imagine her with Terminator glasses and a big old gun and a big leather jacket, leather gloves, everything. So she says, "Welcome, dears. I must say, we were a little curious as to who got into our stashes in the mine, but seems we know who that was now. Anyway, don't worry. These aren't for you. I see you eyeing our toys. Don't worry. There are some rats in the tunnels that we need to exterminate if they get too close."
The guys that just came down the tunnel, there was like 20 of them?
Well, the last we checked it was 13. But our... and a little rat comes up the tunnel and goes up to one of the guys flanking Lady B. And it has a little antenna and goggles on. If it weren't a rat, it would be super cute. Unless you like rats, then it's super cute because it's a rat with a backpack and an antenna and big glasses on. And the dude who has him takes a little aux cord and connects it between the rat and him, and his eyes go white for a second. There's 22 more. Not all of them are affiliated, if you get my drift. What do you mean? Some of them are wanderers that found their way in. Ah, shit. All right, dears. Well, keep an eye out. You know what to do. The rest of you, places. And this squadron kind of breaks up and goes to different posts. As you look around now, you see that there are different crow's nests all around this entrance. And a little ways down and around the corner, there is a rather homely looking shack that has a big wire contraption behind it. Come on, dears. I have someone very important who wants to meet you.
We're going to the shack?
Yes.
I got a joke for you.
Oh, I like jokes. What a joke.
They smile very nervously and sort of nudge Cain. They're like, "Look, we're shacking up."
Oh, sweetheart, that is the most adorable thing I've heard in the last 20 minutes. All right, come on. And she links her arm with yours and says, "Oh, Alyana's gonna love you."
Don't kill me.
Oh, sweetheart, if we wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already. No. We have a great deal to talk about. There is much potential with both of you. And she looks pointedly at Cain.
Cain is typing out a message on his phone. He hasn't realized, probably he doesn't even have service right now, but he's typing to his friend Brian. I miss you right now, but he'll delete the message before even realizing he doesn't have service. But he'll look up.
Brian's last thing that'll see is the little bubbles from Cain.
Typing.
Gone. And then they go away. So you go and you get into this elevator. It is a very rickety, like 1920s elevator with the fold-out gate that closes, and you're going up with all these counterweights pulling the elevator up.
There's a reason they phased out this technology.
Well, they use something very similar in the big skyscrapers. It's just, well, they break down more frequently, whereas this has lasted for 300 years and has only required oiling and inspecting.
Uh-huh.
My grandmother's 113 now, so she must live forever, huh?
Well, if she has the right internal hardware.
No, we don't have the means.
Yeah. It's not all it's cracked up to be, trust me.
I mean, I guess you still age when you're in the ground, right?
This is accurate.
Tweak, are you okay?
I'm fine. Listen,
all right.
It's an elevator, and...
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think I've actually introduced myself to either of you. I am Lady B. I don't know if Kate has said anything.
Kate?
Well, Kate is a friend of his.
We haven't met. Pleasure. I'm Cain Tremblay.
Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Tremblay.
Much to my regret. This is Tweak.
Yes. Hello, Tweak. We've been noticing you.
Oh.
Oh, don't worry. You've been very careful. We're just very good.
Huh. They seem to file that information away, and they look even more uncomfortable. Is that possible? Point not to be followed.
Yeah. You must understand, dear, whenever anybody searches for us, we get a notification at the time of the search. That is the extent of our SOE. Now, what people do with the information once they find us and how they cover their footprints, that's an entirely different matter. We don't have any predictive algorithms to find out who is going to be searching for us and how.
How would you know that it was me?
Like I said, we are very good. We'd be happy to train you.
Maybe.
After all, someone of your caliber clearly should be able to stay on top of their game. The world is ever changing.
Oh, they're quite good.
Yeah. For once, Tweak was silent, contemplating this. They're confused and more jumpy than normal.
So I will tell you this before we get to the top. We keep to ourselves for the most part in order to keep the government off our backs. But our leader is calling you here because of a personal matter. One that you helped uncover, in fact. That USB that you delivered to us had information about their sibling that has been missing for the last year and a half. So, as capable as you are, and Cameron has been very reliable over the last year, We are hoping that you would be able to discreetly make inquiries. Because what we found is, well, nothing short of nightmarish. I hope you prepare yourselves. The elevator rattles to the top, and Lady B pulls the gate open, and you come to it. It's not fully in the open air. It is in fact a cavern. So you assume that you're probably on Mesa Access, not on the Canyon View level. The air is cleaner. You can hear somewhere there's probably an air purifier or something to keep the pollutants of basement level out. And as you walk along the path, you notice that there is a stream going by to one side. Just trickling along, fresh running water. And on the sides of that trickling water, there's moss. There's a couple of flowers. One of those pansies that you found in the mine. There's green here, growing green. From the walls, you see roots of something coming down and making little alcoves, little shelves that people use for various things, or just leave alone and let it be. The cavern opens up even more, and a shaft of light comes down. And there is a small pagoda in front of a tree. Not a small one like the one you found in the abandoned mine, but a full-size tree. It's a willow tree, or at least that's what you think it might be. You're relatively well-read, and you remember the Wind in the Willows story that you were read as a kid. It's got branches that sway with the slightest of breezes. It's about 12 feet tall. And there is a woman in the pagoda sitting and watching a screen. On the screen, there is the sound of shouting, a shriek, a blood-curdling shriek. Someone yells, "Restrain her! Get her back there!" Another shriek, the sound of electricity, and then silence. Hurry up and get her back in her room.
I look to Tweak. Make sure he's not there, not jumpy right now. I don't like vigilantes.
They're distracted by the nature and the moss. They actually pause and sort of bend down and very lightly brush their fingertips over the moss and just...
You have not seen green growing plant life since you left home. So this is soft. It's got a smell to it that reminds you of people that you've tried really hard to forget.
Yeah, they seem conflicted as they sort of are touching this moss. Not as twitchy and rapid movement right now, but it seems like they've sort of slowed a bit. And they'll stay like that for a good minute before sort of reaching into their pocket, pulling out a strip and putting it on their tongue, and you'll notice their eyes flash green, and they'll stand up and
Come along, dear. I know it's
take a deep breath.
probably a little overwhelming. There's not a lot of natural greenery down on the basin level. Come, let me introduce you to Ayana. This is Ayana. Hold, please. Saying the files are too big. I'll put it in here.
How do you spell that?
Ayana. There we go. I'm putting it in the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
So this is the woman that you see staring down at the video pad. She hits play again, and you hear that same sequence of events that you just heard. Lady B approaches and Ayana, they're here. Ayana hits pause mid-scream on the on whatever she's watching and puts it face down and stands. Wipes her face. Forgive me. Welcome, Cain. Tweak. I expected there to be more of you.
They couldn't make it.
Before we get started, I would like to know, is Kate safe? We haven't heard from her, and I'm concerned.
Last I heard from her, she was.
All right. I'll take your word for it then. Thank you. So, welcome. And thanks for creating some chaos at the lithium mine. That was... It's not how we planned for that to go, but worked out pretty well. The lithium mine is terrible for the ecosystem and encourages, well, the use of even more non-replaceable resources, non-renewable resources. And that's all we were trying to do there. But whatever you did, you know, thanks for getting our clues out, but also whatever you did to scare people, that was enough. It was perfect. And we didn't have to destroy anything. That's always the best thing. Anyway, I'm sure Lady B gave you a quick rundown of what we're trying to do.
No?
Let's be frank. What's
I'll
your
be
mission here?
My mission? To get renewable resources to be the first and foremost thing that we do here in Silicon Zion, as the founders intended.
The founders. And where do we come in?
Well, you're not here for that. You're here on a personal matter for me.
Oh, your sibling.
Yes.
Is that who was screaming?
Tweak.
Mm-hmm.
She will flip over the video start it from the beginning, and hit play. What you see are people in lab coats. There are about 6 lab technicians, 2 of whom are laying on the ground bleeding. There is a person wrapped mostly in bandages with various protrusions coming out of their skin, cogs and whirring devices in their arms coming off their neck, their back. The only part of their face that isn't covered are their eyes. And they look remarkably similar to Ayana's. And there is a scar, an old scar, going from their hairline down to their eye. That's my sister. I haven't seen her in... She was never a part of this. But a while back, the government decided to try to get us to settle down. We were about to uncover something big with them. And let me ask you something real quick. Have you noticed that even as big and crowded as Silicon Zion is, that there are no homeless people?
They take care of the people in the city.
And people who OD and who are very strung out. They don't stay on the streets very long.
Well, they go to rehab.
There are programs. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
There are programs. If you get into the right programs, you might even get back out. More or less whole. But for some special cases, I don't really know what the pattern is yet. Some special cases go to labs like this. And we were so close to breaking this news, to uncovering who directed these experiments on living people. When they started taking people close to us, I don't know if there are others that are relatives of my... I hate to call them followers because I don't think this is a good religion. I think it's a great philosophy, but anyway, I like the science. I want to clean up the world. I want to be able to see the blue sky without fearing for my life. Anyway, I don't know how many there are still alive. But if they look anything like my sister, they need to either be rescued or put out of their misery.
Respectfully, I hope you understand my skill set.
I do. And that's why, if they can't be rescued, I need your skill set to end it quickly.
That I can do. If there are any vulnerabilities, Tweak, they can find them. It's the best first place to start. But I've got the feeling you know where we should look first. So what is it?
I know where we should look.
I think that question was directed at me.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Ignore me.
Did you happen to see the news today that Little Buddies is having a big announcement?
Cain looks surprised.
They have some sort of new augmentation that they are doing a big expo on in 2 days.
Again. I'm going to shrug and look to Tweak.
It's been
Wasn't
all
aware.
over the news.
I don't really watch the news.
Then how do you get jobs?
Seems that they find me. 2 days, you said.
Yes, in 2 days. We are very certain that it will have something to do with these modifications that they are trying out. There are a few technicians who will be there. If you are able to question them or, I don't know, use them to gain access to... You hear a gunshot and it turns Ayana's head, followed by another one and another one. We may have to put this conversation on hold. And she heads out of the sanctuary back towards the elevator shaft. Are you following?
Of course.
Tweak will sort of mutter under their breath so that only Cain can hear. You're accepting a job from a bunch of radicals.
Radicals pay really well, Tweak.
Most radicals don't have very much money. They're spouting about renewable energy. Then they want us to kill people? It just sounds like they're extremely wasteful.
You've got a lot to learn, Tweak.
You're the one that doesn't watch the news, apparently.
A wink.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Ayana leading us?
She's leading you back down to where the elevator shaft is.
Anything
to look
we
out.
need to know about the gunshots?
You're hearing you're hearing bullets ricochet around. As you get closer to the elevator shaft, you hear some shouting. You hear some growling. You don't know what would growl, but something is growling. You hear some screaming, and it sets you on edge. So, Cain, what did you bring with you?
Cain's been working on things. He had a bag over his shoulder. He wasn't carrying his rifle case. You can't take something like that into a casino. But he's been working on something, and I'm ready to roll for it.
Okay.
As well as spend some money. But
all right.
Opening up the bag, you would expect some piece of high-tech equipment. It's a small suitcase within this. It almost looks like a laptop bag, but that's vestigial. This is obviously just a work bag for whatever people bring on a commute. He produces a case, and as he opens it, a weapon that should theoretically fold out several times to make a long-ranged firearm. But Cain isn't very good at his craft, so he's not sure if it even works.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a tech roll to see if it works. Give me an intellect roll to see if you notice.
Yep. Intellect is 8.
Okay. So tell me what's wrong with your weapon.
Incompatible ammo.
Yeah. So you get it all together, you look at it, and you go for the ammo, and the magazine is not the right one. You grabbed the wrong one.
Rookie mistake.
He's a rookie
Luckily,
now.
Ayana is also grabbing a weapon, and it is a scout rifle. And there are rows of ammo in this chest in this closet that she's opened. What's the matter?
Oh, I'm missing pieces.
What
I'm quite
pieces?
embarrassed.
Okay, well, like, hurry up.
Right.
Whatever is in
Wrong
here,
ammo.
let's go.
Evidently, you're a militia.
Well,
I'll take a scout rifle.
so there's a scout rifle, there's ammo.
These are renewable, correct? I'm gonna point to a magazine.
We have our methods. So you have a scout rifle. The scout rifle will do me. Here's my weaponry. There we go. So it will do a little better than, it'll do the 3d6 damage on a hit. Okay.
Excellent.
So you look down into the depot where the train is, and you see a very strange sight. You see these Evogate-ists in their leather and their recycled armor, and you see these mafia goons, for lack of a better term, well dressed, all aiming at the same thing. There are about 10 of, they're people. They look like people, but they're not acting like people. One of them has a blade that is coming out of their arm and is just snarling and drooling and slashing at whoever gets close to him. There is a second one that has a chest compartment that lets out a string of shrapnel, and then it grabs whatever it can and stuffs it back in there, and then pulls its arms back and throws out shrapnel again. There are 5 of these monstrosities. There are 6 dead bodies down there, and these people are just trying to beat them back. Like, they're united in wanting to survive.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna set up immediately from a high point. If I've got a good view.
Tweak, are you going to try to do anything?
He looks down the hole and sees these monstrosities and just sort of shakes their head, and they're fighting a losing battle.
They look feral. They look
the people
aggressive.
who the ones that have all the weird augmentations.
Yeah, are they fighting intelligently or are they in a rage?
They are feral. They are going after whoever gets near them,
Are there
except
overhead
for their
lights?
own.
This is a natural cavern?
This is a mostly natural cavern, so there is some regular light.
Tweak?
Yep.
How about we play with the lights? That'll piss them off. It might draw them towards us, but I can take care of it.
How certain are you that you can take care of it? 'Cause I really don't feel like dying.
Well, we might all be dying anyway.
Can Tweak sort of, they'll bring up their device. Are these creatures emitting any sort of signal?
That is a great question. Go ahead and give me a tech roll, please.
Oh my golly.
So you don't have the Wi-Fi password. So, I
don't need a Wi-Fi password.
Well, there's no signal down here.
It's true.
So it's hard to connect to anything.
How's it
down
going,
here.
Tweak?
There's something that I could use to re-roll, isn't there?
Yes, you can use a determination point to
I'm
re-roll.
going to use a determination point.
And just leave it at 2 because I forgot to give you one back at the beginning of the session. Just as a reminder, you can use your determination points. Okay, so that is a success. So you find an aux cable that goes to a CPU and you're able to get plugged in. And so you have access to the electrical. You have access to rudimentary systems, but there is a lot of encrypted stuff that would take you at least 10 minutes to crack.
But I could do something as simple as make the light strobe.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So not seeing a quick answer to stopping these beasts, they will start strobing the lights in a confusing way.
All right. Let me go ahead and roll for them and see
time.
See what happens.
When Cain is reasonably set up, he's also looking for an opportunity to fire.
So the strobing lights distracts 3 of them. So they stop looking at the people who are in front of them shooting at them, and they're looking up going, oh. And you can, if anybody's looking at their eyes are bright green.
Well, I'd like to line my sights between their eyes, so I think that counts.
All right, go ahead and take a combat roll. Excellent. And go ahead and do 3d6 damage. Okay, so you line up your sight, you wait, you've got the pattern of the strobe going. You breathe in, you breathe out, and you pull the trigger. Where are you aiming?
Straight between the eyes. That's my first assumption.
So one of them that has gone from angry feral dog that now looks up like, oh, and falls backward. That wakes the rest of them up from their reverie. They're still very confused because the light is really weird. And so they start shielding their eyes, but they're still trying to grab at or crush people. It looks like the ones that, so you've seen the one that has a blade arm, you've seen one that has the shrapnel exploding chest. The other 2, because now there are 2, they just seem to have like internal augmentations, because they're throwing things that are actually pretty heavy for a normal person. And that's what they're doing to try to crush the people that are shooting at them. They are throwing very big things, boulders, beams, shovels, whatever they can get their hands on.
Okay. I think my process is going to be the same for them as well.
All right. Ayana is going to roll as well. All right, she has the same thing, so let's see here. 3d6. So she is shooting at the one that has shrapnel, this exploding shrapnel from the chest, and she does a little bit of damage to it. She gets it real good in the shoulder, and it staggers back a minute, but then it's back on its feet and a little more angry and is looking up at where you all are. Cain.
Bring it. I'm firing again. This is my skill set. This is all I've ever known, and I'm going to practice my best art. Whatever's closest to me, so whatever's the greatest threat to me right now. I'm finding a forehead and pulling a trigger.
Okay. So that's going to be the guy with the blade, because he's actually threatening some people down on the ground.
Success.
Close. Yeah. 3d6. Oh my god. That is perfect. So big blade guy, he's winding up to take another swing at somebody who's stumbled, and he goes to swing and you get him right in the side of the temple, and he falls sideways so that he doesn't actually hit the guy, which is really lucky because that dude was pissing his pants.
I'm gonna salute him if he looks up at the direction.
Oh yeah, he's like
of the bullet. Wait, was this a mobster?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I've got friends on all sides. And what's another one, right?
Yeah, there's 3 more left. Tweak, what are you doing?
Have I been able to pull up like the blueprints or schematics of the building or area that we're in to see if there's like any piping that's like beneath them, or? I
mean, you did when you were in the train car. So you look through those images. You take a look down and you see that there is some piping, but it's about 100 feet down. You could get in the elevator. The elevator is still up on the level that you are. But there's, from what you can see, all of the piping is empty, or it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are they able to bring that elevator down from down there?
I mean, they can. They're not, because they're protecting their leader, but they can.
That's true. Tweak is looking out for number 1. They don't care about those people down there. So they would spend their time trying to get through the encryption on this computer that they have hooked up to.
All right, give me a tech roll, please.
See what they can find. There you go. Pass.
No, it's not.
My tech is 15.
I'm sorry. Your tech is 15. I was looking at Cain's sheet. Sorry. So you are starting to get through the encryption. You're not there yet. I will give you more information. Just tell me what you're looking for.
Yeah, they're still looking for sort of if these creatures are emitting some sort of signal, but they're also just actually like downloading the information that they are able to get from this group as well.
What are you downloading it onto?
They probably carry some sort of external hard drive.
Okay.
In their bag. So not like a whole lot, but if there is some sort of plans, some information that they can get, something that they could sell.
What is your first priority?
Get out of here alive.
Okay, so I'm going to say that the first thing that you're going after is maybe the CCTV network, because there are cameras down there.
Perfect.
So you will start to access that, and I will tell you what you see when we come back to your turn. Ayana is going to shoot again. and take out another one of the little ones. There are 2 left. There is the shrapnel one that has some damage, and it is just about ready to shoot off another blast. And then there is one of the smaller ones that is just throwing stuff. So, Cain, what are you doing?
I'm firing at whoever's the largest body relative to my scope, because I don't want to miss a shot.
Okay.
I'm going for sure shots.
You
Not
okay?
good.
Is that your final answer?
Determination point.
I'm not using a determination point. I don't have
Okay.
enough. I don't really care about these people down below. I'm taking it casual, but I will call out to Tweak before I make this terrible shot. How's it going?
So what happens is you hear click, and you notice that there is a misfire, and there is a round stuck in the chamber, and you have to either clear it or throw that gun away before it explodes.
I'd much like to try to clear it.
Okay.
I've done this before.
Give me a tech roll, please.
Tech roll.
All right.
Promising.
You clear it very easily, but you've lost your sight, and so you have to line up your sight again. So,
Yep.
Tweak, what you see is that there is there's something about the eyes, and there's like there's a haziness around them, almost like they're pulsing. I mean, you don't know if they're receiving or emitting something, but there's something around their eyes that's like, and this looks really weird with my background, but kind of appropriate. So yeah, you notice there's something about the eyes that's pulsing and connecting it to something. You could try to do a full spectrum like EMP, but that would knock out all of the tech, and it might knock out some of the information that you are going for. Or you could try something else.
Well, it sounds like that is probably their best chance of getting out of here alive.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have backup somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I want them to live because then they could pay me. So yeah, they're gonna try and disrupt that signal.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a tech roll, please.
Please don't get another 20. There we go.
How often do you hear that?
I know.
So you succeed. So you flip a couple of digital switches and then cross a couple lines, and you hear a boom, zzz, zzz, and the couple of the creatures stumble a little bit, and they look very confused. They look at each other. They look at what's going on around them. They look at each other. And they start to run back down the tunnel.
Yeah,
So
Tweak just watches this confused on the camera.
Yeah, I'm catching the very tail end of it as I'm finally lining my sight up.
You hear Ayana say, "What the fuck? What did you just do to my stuff?"
Sorry, hope you have insurance.
I mean, we have replacements, but we don't like, Anyway. At least the elevator is manual.
Where's the mafia right now?
Huh? So there is a very uneasy truce right now. People are gathering themselves. They're looking at their dead. the Evogate people are rounding them up because there are more of them than there are of the Mafia guys. And having them have a sit down.
I'm gonna train my sight on the Mafia guys.
Okay.
All right, Ayana. What's next?
Well, I was going to have you, see what information you could get and break into the laboratory that we think that my sibling is being held in, and try to get her out, but things just took an interesting turn.
Haven't they?
You guys are way too calm. An interesting turn. Did those things look like her sibling, like with the cogs? Like, could Tweak notice the augmentations on them and see, like...
The augmentations on those people were much more finished. And they... one of the things you noticed as the guy with the shrapnel chest was heading away is that there was a bit of a closing. Actually, you wouldn't have seen it because CCTVs are out, but Cain would have seen it because he had the scope and he was aiming for that dude.
Mm-hmm.
So the shrapnel chest would have closed and sealed off. So these augmentations, from what you saw, they looked very finished. They looked very clean. And the clothes of these people were normal. Weirdly normal. Like, barely dirty, except for, like, traveling down a dusty tunnel. And slightly sweaty from them running. But well-tailored. So yeah, that's what you notice. Not at all like the like what that video had shown.
Tweak is mad.
Hey, Anna.
Yes.
What can we do now?
Well, right now it seems we need some information. Let's go look at the bodies. Oof. It's the worst part.
Yeah, but recycling bodies isn't fun.
Well, it's not the recycling part. It's the actual taking of life that I object to.
Oh, you say you just have other people do it?
I don't know what you
Tweak when they say that with a furious glare, because Cain pays his bills because of people who don't mind bloodshed. So to ask these big questions is quite offensive to him, and I think you might get that from the glance. Just the
Tweak, make a persona check.
Persona. Oh, I passed. Barely.
Yeah. So you look at Cain. Cain looks livid. And you may or may not pick up that you kind of insulted his profession. Nothing against what you do, Mr. Tremblay. But the less people that have to die, the better. But if someone is doing what they're doing to my sister on a greater scale, well, that needs to be put a stop to. It seems like that is a fate worse than death. The elevator slowly and shakily goes down. It's not as smooth of a ride as it was going up. But that is also one of the benefits of this super old elevator, is that it's mechanical and not electric. So all you have to do is deal with the counterweights. Do you want to investigate the bodies, or do you want to just take your job and go? It seems you are welcome to do either.
I don't want to be seen by the mafia, so I'm avoiding them. Actually, I don't want to be seen by anybody here.
How are you showing that?
I'm just going to stand by the elevator. I take it it's sort of off to the side.
Ayana will call Lady B over, whisper to her, and then head off in the direction of the mafia people. Lady B will turn around and address you both. Well, you're both free to go. The tram will take you back to Hamza's, or there is another exit down this way. It's just longer to get back. I understand you might be reluctant, Mr. Tremblay, given your profession, to be seen by people who might be connected elsewhere.
Appreciate your concern.
No. We know what that's like. I'm the only one who ever really gets out these days.
I'm going to look around and just take in the scenery. It makes it truer, what she's saying.
Yeah. The in the basin, you know, you've seen little bits of greenery in the tunnel leading up to the sanctuary. Now that you're taking a look around the depot area, you'll notice that there are dandelions growing out of the cracks of the platform. You notice a lizard skittering by, climbing up the walls. You hear a bird overhead, a hawk of some kind. It feels like you should be in one of those pods, one of those virtual reality pods of the outdoors. This is unreal. There's a blue sky above you with fluffy white clouds. Giant fluffy white clouds. And the clouds are slowly getting darker. It smells different.
Is that possible?
Drip. Drip. You start to feel water falling down on your head.
Yeah, an unkind reminder that I need a hat or hair, whichever one's cheaper. Can I make a check to see how this is even, what this phenomenon is?
Sure. Go for it. Make a, what did you roll? Intellect?
Intellect.
Yeah.
Failed it.
You failed it, so you don't really know. You know that the water is cool. It doesn't smell like anything but water. Tweak, you've been around. You know rain when it's coming. You haven't felt it in a while because you've been indoors for the last couple years, but...
Yeah, they turn their face up to it and just sort of close their eyes and let the rain fall on their face for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to forget where they are and all the dead bodies around them, but you know, I think death smells stronger than rain.
Yeah. You hear a familiar voice as you close your eyes, just saying something from a memory. Yuri, come home. Don't play in the rain, sweetheart.
They open their eyes and are going to go investigate one of those robots. Sort of kick it.
Oh, one of the rats or the rocks?
No, one of the people. Sorry.
Oh,
The
one of the dead
heavily
people.
augmented
Gotcha.
people.
Gotcha. So you can look at the blade guy, the guy that has the blade off of his arm. The scarring around his arm indicates that the blade is interchangeable. Like it looks like it can screw off and have a different attachment put on. You notice that there are a couple of fresher puncture wounds towards the back of the neck in a grouping of 3. They're scabbed over, but you are familiar with various drug uses, so you would probably gauge it at maybe a week old or so. The eyes are no longer have that haziness around them, but they are open. The green is fading from their eyes.
Does Pikachu have a distinct smell? Like, is there something that they could smell on their breath?
It kind of smells like Smarties, so very sugary.
Yeah. Tweak will actually bend down and like smell them, which probably looks very odd.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an intellect roll and then a persona roll. Okay.
Pass intellect. Do not pass persona.
Okay. So, what you are able to smell is a definite Smarties type smell, along with a bit of ozone and blood, and something about that mixture really sets off a gag reflux. You are going to throw up. The question is where.
Yeah, Tweak will just actually stumble a couple steps back. Can't hold it in, so again, just not on the dead body, but probably on their shoes.
Yeah.
Kind of doubles over. But they don't really eat, so it's probably just all bile.
It's all bile, a little bit of alcohol. No blood, because you haven't actually thrown up that much.
No.
But it's enough. Cain, what do you do?
Tweak, are you okay? I'm a ways away. I'm not.
Yeah, you're like behind the train car.
Right. Everything all right?
They can't talk for a moment, and they, look up, eyes watering. I'm fine. Yes. Let's go.
You get back in the train car. Cain, are you following?
Mm-hmm.
Lady B also follows and punches in another phrase. And she says, by the way, the next time you come by, choose the main option. And the answer is spring. The one that you got is old.
Still brought us here.
It did. But that's mostly because we had a suspicion it was you all.
Should just let people in.
Of course we can't. People have to make an effort. And as the train is going, Lady B gets out of her leather, stows the leather in the car, stows her gun, takes the gun apart with surprising efficiency. Cain, if you're watching this, you are, well, I don't know how you feel about the efficiency of other people taking apart weapons in such a beautiful way. but it seems to be art as she's taking it down, deconstructing it, putting it into what appears to be a custom-made case that folds and folds and is about the size of a journal. And she sticks it in her old lady bag. She pulls out a skirt from the car, throws it over her pants, and she's got her paisley blouse on. She taps a couple of buttons on the sleeve and changes the pattern, and she appears to be typing something into the sleeve of her coat. So that's what you see.
It's impressive.
Which, yes, that was one of the clever things that I had Cameron acquire for me.
Cameron's quite clever.
Very, though frustratingly neutral.
It can be a good thing.
It can be. But sometimes it's hard to know who you can really trust in this world.
Is treason a problem for you and yours?
Well, treason is a matter of perspective, dear. What's happening to our people, to the land that we inhabit? I don't know which is more treasonous. Those who want to take care of the land, or those who are destroying it with everyone's permission.
I'd blame those giving permission. Now, I don't mean to be too philosophical. I'm after one thing and one thing only, and I know you like this about me, but I need payment.
Yes, well, your assistance today definitely warrants it. Let me inquire as to compensation. She sends a message, and a couple of seconds go by. It's not at all not very long at all. Well, 30 credits each for today.
Thank you. And one more thing. I'm sure you already know this about me. I'm going to send a file to Lady B. Will she have a way to receive it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's the recording of everything that I passively record and a certificate of deletion to ensure that my copy of what has transpired here does not exist, so that way if it leaks, I don't lose my life over it.
Tweak, are you picking any of that up?
You saw me destroying the record of what just happened here while sending a copy. So that way, it's common practice in case something leaks. I can basically prove that it wasn't me because they know my version of the events, they know my perspective, and they also know that I deleted it. So they don't come to plug the leak and kill me.
Yeah, Tweak is basically sitting on a bench, their head kind of between their knees.
Are you still processing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, so Lady B smiles and says, "Oh, I wish you would pick a side too. You're one of the most professional ones we work with." And she takes the information, says, "Thank you very much. I do hope you all have a less eventful rest of your day. This has been a little too much excitement for me, but the rounds don't wait for anyone." The train arrives back at the platform that you were at. There's no sign of the people that ran away. You're not really sure what happened to them. But the Lady B just starts heading up the stairs. She checks all of the access doors, changes the code on the keypads as they go up. Do you follow?
I do.
The only way out.
And so you get to Hamza's. She listens. There's someone in there. Apparently sitting on a beach having an argument about child custody.
How long does this
Hang
wait
on.
usually take?
Well, usually I just do this, and she opens up a side panel that it's really dark, so you wouldn't have seen it, but there's a side panel, and she taps in a couple of numbers. Tweak, if you're paying attention, you can actually memorize that. If you're distracted, I completely understand. And then all of a sudden you hear everything in there power down, and you hear, what the fuck? And then another door opens. You hear Sarah saying, sorry folks, this one is temporarily out of order. See the manager, he'll get you a new credit or renewed location. And you wait and you wait, and then you hear, and the door that you had gone through opens, and Sarah lets you all out. And she bends down and gives Lady B a hug. Says, it's good to see you. And then gives her like the smallest, cutest smile ever. But then it's quickly replaced by that mask of I hate everything. And she goes back to the hibachi grill.
Well, I'm gonna just readjust my shirt and pretend that everything that happened before we entered the booth just never happened. Except I am net 30 credits richer. Now, Tweak, are you planning on eating something?
Fuck off. He kind of storms out, or they kind of storm out. They're like, no.
So Cain, Lady B has wandered off. Tweak has wandered off. And you get a text from Brian going, what the hell, dude? Are you okay? You've been texting me a novel or something?
Reply.
And you notice that your text that says, miss you, wish you were here, was not fully deleted. So it was just sitting there that whole time. Had not been sent.
I'm gonna reply. Apologies, I fell asleep on my phone.
Where? You're not at the house.
Yes, I'm at a restaurant. It's a sad sight. Just, I don't need your pity.
Whatever, dude. You just coming home or what?
I'm not even gonna reply. He knows that I saw it.
All right, and that is where we are going to end tonight's session. I love you guys so much. You make me so happy. All right, so where's my script? There's my script. Thank you all again for watching this session of Silicon Zion. Our players were Ian as Cain. He is also the director of the stream. And you can catch him on alternate Fridays for Short Rest and Scion. And on Sundays, so tomorrow, GMing our Pathfinder Age of Ashes campaign. We also have Sam as Tweak. And you can catch her here once Star Wars comes back on alternating Mondays. And hosting our first Spooky Wednesday one-shot. What are we playing on Wednesday?
We are playing The Witch is Dead.
I love this game. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch or play or whatever. Or both. And I have been your storyteller, Spence. You can see me here on Sundays for our Pathfinder Age of Ashes game, as well as on my Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/Resonant Moon. And also on Wednesdays, I will be doing the alternate Wednesdays with the one-shots, but that is not for another 2 weeks. So, we want to thank Frenzy Kitty Games for the use of their game and art. We want to have a special thanks to Michael Gelfi for the music that he provides. His YouTube link will be in the show notes. Did we play any Rocknarden today?
We did not.
Okay, well, Rocknarden is great too, and you'll probably hear some of his stuff on tomorrow's show. We hope you enjoyed this game. Please consider following and subscribing to our channel, and join us again in 2 weeks for episode 4 of Silicon Zion. Thank you, and good night.